A couple of things I want to mention. About solvents is I see a lot of guys out there using rubbing alcohol, or what is chemically known as isopropanol or isopropyl alcohol. And major problem to using rubbing alcohol is that it has some water in it, and you never want to have water on your bare metal. And the thing about water is that water carries ions, which is salt. So you're getting sodium, which is, in table salt, calcium, magnesium. There are other metal and salt ions in the water that can cause rapid oxidation, especially when you have two pieces of metal contacting each other. It basically forms a electrolyte solution and makes a little current flow between the two pieces of metal, and at that site you'll get pitting and rust and oxidation. So you never want to use any solvents that have water in them. I think it promotes rusting, in my honest opinion. So that's why I use acetone, or some people use carburetor, car carburetor cleaner, but that stuff's really nasty. Definitely use it outside. Acetone should be used outside too. So yeah, when you apply, and I've actually done it before, I've applied isopropanol as a solvent in a pinch, and when it was evaporating, I swear I could almost see rust form on the areas that were not that were worn down a little bit, that were not parkerized fully. You get little areas that wear off, and I swear that there were rust spots on my gun after I used isopropanol when it evaporated. So when it evaporates, it leaves behind those metallic salts too, unless they're using double deionized water or distilled water. Then there's going to be salt in the water. There's going to be salt ions in the water. So don't recommend using any products with any amount of water. Even the 99% isopropanol has 1% of, guess what? Water with probably ions in it that will cause rust. Might not be a problem with guns with polymer frames, but for 1911s I would say avoid any solvents containing water. So this part I like to do because again, water, there's a certain amount of water in the air right now. There's what's called relative humidity. Everyone knows that from the weather, watching the weather reports. And so right now, even though this metal is bone dry and I've prepped it with acetone, the acetone drove most of the water off of the surface. As it sat here, just in a few minutes, the water from the atmosphere is condensing on the surface of the metal in a microscopic manner, but it is condensing there, and that's bad. I want to drive that water away, and the treatment for Militech says to heat up your gun to have it bond to the metal surface, and when you're heating up the gun, it not only does it help the Militech bond, but it also drives off any moisture that may be clinging to any of your parts. This could be especially true if you live in really high humidity areas, Florida, tropical areas. So yeah, heat treatment. If you don't have a hairdryer, you know, stove, something to heat it up to drive the moisture off and prep the surface for lubricant.